And so now that they are financially where they are, it's about building, here we have these employees that we want to keep and help to grow the business, and we want them to be here, so how do we do it? But I feel like they've taken 3 steps forward and 2 steps back in kind of being able to build that, because it's always been business, and so there hasn't been a great foundation in order to do it. So I feel like now it's almost like going backwards of, well, how do we train them to be good employees, and how do we continue to help them move forward? I mean, my husband is the business owner and will still deliver the goods to their customers, and is in the warehouse every single day building doors. So kind of when you were talking about what's kind of taking the step back look like, it would be amazing if we could just sit in an office for 10 minutes to answer emails instead of answering emails at 10 o'clock at night because he was in the warehouse for 18 hours of the day, you know?
And that's really the kind of support that we're talking about, to teach you those ways to stop working in your business and start working on your business. Okay? Because the same the same acumen that got him to this level of success would be exponential if he weren't stuck in the warehouse.
Yeah.
Right? But so let me ask you another question, and after the time, I know I said I'll only give you 90 minutes. So, why do you feel entrepreneurs don't ask for help until their house is on fire?
Pride. They don't want to seem unintelligent. They don't want to seem like they don't know.
They don't seem like they're not successful. They look like failure.
It's almost too hard to train someone else to do everything you're doing sometimes too.
Yes.
You just do it yourself.
Yeah.
Just get it done, and it's just.
Yeah, but how much is that costing you by delaying
Oh,
the process?
Yes.
Yeah, a lot.
Okay, so let me tell you a fact that you may not know. 43% of all Fortune 500 CEOs have a coach.
I believe it.
Okay.
Because my
They
business
have a
started
coach.
gotten better since I know you. The same. No, I'm serious. I'm serious.
Quarterback coach.
That's it. Well, why is that? It's perspective.
Yeah, it's somebody looking from the outside in for you, because sometimes you get so caught up and focused in the business itself, and then you get that, and this is mine, you know, and I hate to admit it sometimes, but it's like, I mean, I'll teach and coach as much as I can, but then it's like, I'll see those days where it's like, oh my gosh, that wasn't done the way I wanted it to, and it's like I've told them 500 times, and it's like, you know, so it's you know, trying to step back, and I love what Elgin had said to me. He's like, you know, I will hold your hand as long as you want me to, but as soon as you tell me you got it, you got it. And that's something I'm working on. Yes, I did. And I
did. So and that too is so let me tell you the real downside of you working so much in your business. How much time in a month do you spend on future planning? You see?
Yeah.
Right. So when the opportunities present themselves in the market, are you in a position to take advantage of it? Or are you so busy pedaling the bike with your head down that you don't even see it? It goes right by you because you didn't see it. That's probably the biggest problem that comes from doing it.
Now, there are different resources that I would love to have or use. For instance, content creators that will set a schedule for your social media posts and all that. I don't have the extra money in my budget to invest in that. It would be wonderful because that's something I know I'm not great at, but I know that I could use mentorship for it or have someone that's more knowledgeable that just kind of just takes that on. But I don't know how much that even really should cost, or you know what I mean?
Yes.
So I don't even know because that's not.
But and that's exactly why that the coaching and the mentoring comes in. Because if we can sit down and I chronicle your day, right? And just kind of go through, and I can say, all right, so based on what I see, you've got about 90 minutes every day
coffee addiction.
that you can do that. That's right. And the coffee that we can put into that. And so now we ask ourselves, is it 90 minutes most effective with you learning how to do content creation, or you spending that 90 minutes to go out and get more business that generates enough revenue that allows you to pay someone to do that? You see? So again, back to the planning. Right? So if we go through it, then if we did that, you'd really find that you have far more time than you actually do. Because business ownership, business management is all about functioning between interruptions. Right? Don't we all have a piece of paper in the morning that tells us all of the things that we need to get done? And then the interruptions make sure we get about a third of that. Okay. And so it's managing in between. But there are systems that you can be taught that will help you do that. And then you teach those very same to your employees so that they are looking at the things that have to be done in the store every day as a part of their normal routine. I shouldn't have to tell you. For those of you who have children, it's just like, you go to my son, if it is not okay for your clothes to be on the floor on Tuesday, today is Wednesday, how do you think it's going to be okay today?
How do you miss that? Back to teach you how to deal with that.
Right. And so I think the beauty of us coaching and mentoring you, and then you turning into that mentoring coach, changes the dynamic of your business simply because right now, fear probably causes them to do more, right? Because of fear of losing their job, fear of not being able to pay rent. And we're saying if we're going to thrive together, then it has to be an understanding of what's going on. They have to understand that it's not okay that this table is dirty, that there's a piece of paper in the middle of the floor. I came from the mall business and big structures, but anybody that knows me will tell you, you walk through the mall and I'll be picking up paper and wiping off tables, and probably don't even notice that I do it, because it's part of the culture. And so what happens when the employees see you do that? They do, of course they do. And so what we're saying is that, so now that they have gotten into that mindset, we need to start coaching them on moving up and how to be a bigger player in what it is you're trying to accomplish. But here's the caveat. You need to pay them. Okay, employers are famous for adding responsibilities and 3% pay raise. 3%, come on. And so it's not necessarily that we're trying to advocate that you have to pay an artificially high wage as it is. If we create the environment that shows you how to then raise the revenue, just cut them in. It's how will your employees feel when they see the productivity of your company go up so much that you come right up and escalate and their pay is the same?
Like a church. Pastor shows up with that nice car.
So is there anything that let me ask the team before I let you go. I'm sure they're sitting there like, are there any questions that you guys would like to ask before we wind up?
This has been a fascinating discussion. I would love to hear just from, and maybe you can write this down. What is the single thing that you've heard that you thought was the most important takeaway? Like, what is the thing that you're like, Elgin, Jen, like, this is really important. I hadn't thought of this before. I hadn't thought about it in this way before. I didn't realize that this is what I need to be focused on before. I'd love to know what that is.
I know.
Your metaphor for writing the book and being a small business owner and you're just pedaling, that there are other ways to get from point A to point B, and then also be aware and look around at different ways to do things to be more, there's
I've
so
seen
many other
this through
ways.
Sarah's business, and she utilizes a lot of people don't recognize the fact of specialists in individual fields, say, advertising, social media advertising, digital advertising. People that are starting out in that industry, they're typically the ones that sometimes will work harder for a lot less. But you can get them started, and then once things are running and you're making more of a profit, then it becomes more of a full-time gig. But not to be afraid to tap into the individuals that are learning a field, because typically what I've seen is they are more aggressive than the ones that are currently doing that. Because they want to learn.
He's 1,000% right. If you use CareerSource, go to CareerSource. That's what they do. They help people find employment. They can even get you some interns people for free. You might get a young kid that says, I want to learn this business.
Yeah.
And you can.
I got a buddy who did that with some film students, and now one of the kids is one of the best film kids in the country for athletics. So he started out.
So I wouldn't have thought of workforce. That's mine right
Yeah,
there.
he hired Will to follow him around in college and take pictures of him so he could get girls at clubs.
Oh my goodness.
It was like 20 bucks a night, and now Will is at USC, and he is the head of social media at USC.
Well, I mean, I see it in my career along with having a flight student that's paying to learn how to fly. Is a heck of, I could use other words, but a heck of a lot more attentive and willing to put in the work than a 12-year captain that's been sitting there making $750,000 a year. That flight school student that's paying for that flight time is more willing to do the work than a seasoned veteran that's been doing the job for a decade plus.
I can believe that. Pam, did you have a question? Pam?
Oh, I didn't hear you, sorry.
No. No, I was just asking if you had to ask a question.
You want your football, Pam?
It's all over, but they'll be going crazy. I would like to know, that are questions, I would like to know if there's one thing you could ask us for in terms of support or assistance, what would it be?
Do you have anybody looking to move from Seattle to Florida? Do you know anybody in Florida looking to sell their house to move somewhere else?
Lead generation.
Them, right there. No, that was a serious question.
Really don't know, but I'll keep an eye out.
Thank you.
Matt?
What else?
Timely access.
Timely access.
What was that?
He said timely access.
When I say timely access, I mean based on each individual need. I know it sounds crazy or whatever, but I know sometimes it would be 10:30 at night and I have stuff pop up and I have damn, I have no FAQ board.
Yeah. So being able to access the questions when he asks
You email it, it's like, all right.
what time of night, anything like that.
Whatever, if I can get somebody who gives me access immediately, I know it sounds stupid, but.
No, it's fine.
Time frame with an idea.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, also,
Exactly.
for an example, I had an issue, I ordered pots and pans, and I messaged thinking there's no way the chat's open, it's 11:30 at night.
Yeah.
This is when it pops in my head, and I had this time, I got an instant chat response, and I got my new lid 3 days later. Because they have a
See?
virtual assistant that is right. So but I'm like, who knows where this person is from? They called me my name. They could look up my order number and know exactly what I got in order to give it, and it was personalized and instantaneous. And I was
Yeah.
like, it is 11:30 at night, but again, this is when I'm slowed down for the day.
It makes a difference like
It
that.
was insane. I would support them 100% just because of customer service.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah. They really.
So you need a virtual assistant?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man.
We don't have any more.
Yeah.
Matt, do you have anything?
No. You tried it already?
That was it for me, Elgin.
Okay. All right, so what I will do is ask because my wife forgot to remind me to print the sign-up sheet. You know, bad wife.
Reminded him,
She forgot to remind.
I reminded him, he forgot to print them.
He forgot about the reminder.
He forgot about the reminder.
What I would like you to do is put your name and email address on here because we want to follow up, especially since we were having some audio issues. And so if the team has some things that they'd like to ask you, we do record it and the digital will pick up all of the sound. And I'll send them some recordings of it. Yes?
I have a question. Where does this go from here? It was a nice session and everything, so.
So we actually have a pilot of the coaching and mentoring program that we're describing to you that launches in September. And so what we're trying to do is get this kind of feedback to understand how to structure. So that maybe part of it is a learning management system where at 2 o'clock in the morning, people get in there and find out what, because in the network, if we chose somebody in China or we chose somebody, someone would be up, right? So we would make sure that that's how it's lined up. And that was really the idea, was to say, how is this best consumed? Because I'm like you, I have people to say to me, did I really get an email from you at 1:30 in the morning? Jen gets on me about that. 1:30 in the morning, I'm sending